It has just gone 12:30 this Wednesday lunchtime. We are coming to you live from the O2 Arena in East London ahead of tomorrow's BetMGM Premier League Darts final. And of course, the 2024 Premier League Darts champion is going to be crowned tomorrow night as the final night takes place right here in the O2 Arena. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, I would stay with it because before we go at 1 o'clock today, Mark Albrighton, Leicester City, looks pretty darn good with darts in his hand. Lord Simon Jordan is throwing darts as well, and nobody, I can tell you, in the close vicinity of him is safe. But anyway, we'll check that out when we get to it. As I say, after 16 weeks of action, there are 3 matches to go, and only Luke Littler, Luke Humphries, Michael Smith, and Michael van Gerwen remain. Michael van Gerwen will play Luke Humphries tomorrow night, and I'm delighted to tell you both gentlemen joined Danny Murphy and myself live on the show this lunchtime. Luke, Michael, you're welcome. How are you?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you. Here's the thing. Luke, you and I spoke way back in Cardiff at the beginning of all of this. 16 weeks on, how's it been?
Yeah, it's been, mentally and physically grueling. It's been a hard task turning up, every Thursday, and you just never know how it's going to go, to be honest. But I felt like I've put in a good campaign. Averaged over the 100 mark for the whole of the tournament, which is where I'd set my standard at. So my goal was to get in the top 4, and I did that. So it was all achieved what I wanted.
You were saying, Michael, that you know each other so well because you play each other so often.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So, I mean, to be honest, there is no need for any homework going into it, any preparation.
No.
You just take your own game into each game.
Yes and no, because I think there's always homework to do. The way how you pronounce a game, how you analyze your own throw in the previous games, what do you have to do better, all them things combined, you need to make sure you're going to put in the next game. And that's not always that easy, but there has to be the mindset.
You're playing for this trophy in front of us here on the table. I mean, I suppose it would have been a disaster for you, Luke, and you, Michael, had you not got to this stage.
What do you mean?
Well,
it's never a disaster.
Oh, it's no?
No, because
the aim is to get here, right?
Yeah, I know, but only once I didn't do it, and that was COVID times.
So
it's not that difficult.
Well,
only you have to do it.
Yeah, I think also as well, when you've had the success that he's had in this competition, it's not as important, maybe, not in a disrespectful...
No, it's really important. People underestimate it, but because it's every week, it drags you out, it makes you... mentally tired, you know what I mean? Because you have to travel all week after week, tournament by tournament. Because people think after this we go home. No, we go to the next tournament. Then after this we have a tournament in Rosmalen. Then we go to New York. Then we don't stop. You know what I mean? And that makes it mentally difficult. But to play in this tournament after the World Championship, this is the biggest one of the year.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It is incredibly important for the likes of me and Michael, the world number 2, to be in finals night, because of course we want to be competing for this trophy. Michael's won it 7 times. He knows how it feels. I don't. So, I'm going to be desperate to try and get my hands on it, and he's going to want it back.
You're allowed to sniff on it now.
I'm allowed to touch it. Oh, thank you.
7 times, incredible, Michael. When I think of that, actually, look, where does darts got to now? We were talking to Barry Hearn, the president of Matchroom, and he was telling Danny, myself, and Simon how it all came about. It's become enormous now. People love it.
It seems to be growing every year. It seems to be them World Championships every year that keeps making it grow. Obviously, last year the Michael Smith and Michael van Gerwen game with the 9-darter, that grew the sport incredibly. And then obviously this year with me and Luke Littler, the youngest ever world final. And I think Luke's a lot to because of that. But I think the game is growing massively, and I think we're possibly one of the second most viewed sport on Sky Sports now, which is great for us as players. And the game will keep growing and growing as long as we're pushing it as much as we are.
And only us. If you look to the timeline of darts, back in the day, of course, Air Bristow, the era of Phil Taylor, of course, started all this. And
yeah.
Then you had the time with Van Barneveld, the Andersons, myself, and now new generation, the Lukes, Luke Humphries, Luke Littler. Every time something special happens, what takes darts to another level, and I think that's what sports needs. But the same will happen with football or any other sport. Always something there that for people to give it a little kick. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you need to have.
I was talking to the guys off air, but do you think do it on air? But the audience is massive now, in the venues and at home at TV. Do you think the Premier League, the format, the 6-leg, the quick bump, because very different to World Championships where they're longer, where it's the better player seems to maybe come through, but with the short, do you think the fans really like that quick fire?
Yes and no. There's a lot of ups and a lot of downs. If you look, for me as a player and for me as a Dart fan, I would rather like to not play all the top players so many times in a row.
Okay.
Then it's less special. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
But the other side, if you're in a venue watching the darts and they bring in the money, selling the tickets, they want to see a winner at the end of the night. So I get it.
Yeah.
But for me as a player, I prefer one game on a night.
I'm just watching what's going on behind you, Michael. Mark Albrighton looks very good. 2 treble 20s and a double 20. Simon Jordan scored 6. I saw you score 6 a minute ago. Just carry on over here. The adults are having a conversation over here.
Are you sure you're right-handed?
Oh boy, Michael, you can come back.
Let's ask Luke, what do you think on that question?
I pretty much agree, to be honest. I think the only thing it takes away from us playing the league, what we are, is
the Premier League,
yeah, you know, the league format that we're playing.
Oh, sorry, the league format, yeah.
With the knockout. I think it does take away that special game. You know, at the moment you got the likes of, you know, me and Michael. That's a special game in darts. But I think we've played each other 6 or 7 times this year already, and you know, me and Luke Littler obviously is a big game in darts as well. And I think I've played him 6-7 times this year already. So it takes away that special.
Back in the day, beginning of the Premier League, let's say I was playing filter week 7, Michael Van Gerwen and Taylor, or something like that, and everyone was living towards them games. And now it's a little bit less special than, but for the people in the crowd, I get it, and I think it's better for the people in the crowd.
Michael, Simon Jordan has it's perfect. Is it 3 treble 20s?
No,
it's two trips.
It's too late. It's no pressure on. Nobody's
buy,
watching.
All right.
Yeah. If he goes to the Wimmer website, he can buy my darts. Maybe it's 3 triples.
Look, Humphries, what would you rather happens, that you win the Premier League darts final tomorrow night, or your beloved Leeds United wins the playoff final against Southampton on Sunday?
I've been asked that before. Obviously, I'd rather be Premier League champion, because you know, in this life we have to be selfish. So for me, it's no brainer. I'd obviously want to be the Premier League champion, and Leeds not to go up.
Yeah, but you could.
In an ideal world, I want both to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Michael, it's just occurred to me: can you improve, having won this thing 7 times?
Of course, can I improve? You didn't watch my game lately.
But mate, you've been there. You've been at the very top for so long.
Yeah.
How do you get better?
Keep by them guys. They drive you. They're gonna push you all the time. He's first time Premier League for Luke Littler and Luke Humphries, and now for me it's the 12th or 13th time. You know what I mean? So I've been on the circuit for quite a long time already, and I'm the one with the most experience out of all of us.
What's the key to that? The longevity. What's the key to staying at that? Because these guys have got that to come.
I love trophies, mate.
Yeah.
You know, I do admire him for that, because this year has been quite tough. You know, it was my first time, and to sit back and see that he's done 12, 13 years on the trot, all the travelling, and he's still got that mental approach every time when he walks to the hockey, as he wants to win. It's quite incredible to us. No, I think a lot of the players do admire him for that. It's it's a hard graft doing it for 12 years on the trot. You know,
you guys look as if you got on pretty well. So when Michael shapes up against you tomorrow night, Luke, is it like boxing? Is there any trash talk goes on before it?
No.
Van Gerwen, you're getting it. Shut up, Humphries.
Not really. No, I don't think that. We're not into all that. You know, we get along. We're good friends, and you know, we'll probably go out for dinner tonight and tomorrow. But obviously, when we're playing against each other Thursday night, you know, we'll want to beat each other, want to thrash each other, and that's just the way it is. You know, friends off the hockey, but enemies on it.
But I don't take away the trash talk. I know that was a joke, Jim, but you know, in terms of the speed of throw, different players playing at different speeds and that type of stuff, does that come into your thinking as a strategy?
Nah,
never. You just concentrate.
I always believe if you're busy with other people's,
it messes you up.
Yeah, messes you up yourself. There's no point.
Yeah.
And it shows your own weakness.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.